Hello everyone, it's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing, I believe it's week 21 of Rachel at Roxy Creation challenges. And I started, I've only done one. I started on week 20. I tried the triple pocket from one piece of paper challenge, which was a lot of fun. So I'm just going to show you guys what I'm using, and I'm actually going to speed this up. So the challenge, she basically gives you something to do, and you're supposed to try to get as many done as you can in 45 minutes. Well, I'm a little on the slow side, so as far as the time goes, I kind of failed that part of the challenge. But I'm going to try to do these challenges. Maybe I can eventually get to where I can get them done within the 45 minutes. But I'm just really slow. But I'm liking them because I'm using up my scrap papers, and anything that I can do to use up my scraps is always a good thing. So the challenge was to decorate a junk mail pocket envelope, and I think she had it where you can like use the flap of the envelope to connect it to a page, if I'm not mistaken, and I can still do that with the way that I'm doing it on some of these, but I'm not really too concerned about if I need to connect it to a page or not, because I can still use the flap. And then I was thinking, if I just decorate it, then it'll be fine, and I can tip it in if I want to use it, or you know, whatever. And I haven't really decorated a whole lot of junk mail envelopes. I think I've done a couple, but this was my first time really sitting down and deciding, okay, I'm going to decorate some of these envelopes. So the first one I'm going to do, I have her kit, and I think it's a French kit. And then I also have this paper here that I'm tearing. It's from Little Bindy, and it's, I believe, one of her Zine papers. I'm not sure of the month, but it is one of those papers from one of her Zines. And I just grabbed my little craft scissors because I'm going to make a little decorative edge here. And I actually do enjoy having the junk mail envelopes in my journal. It gives it a different look, and it's fun to use. So I said, well, to myself, I'm going to go ahead and try this out, because I know I'll be able to use them in my journal. So I'm not decorating these for, or my intention anyways, was not to decorate them for any journals that I am making. I was basically just decorating them for fun and to possibly use in my own journal. So that other paper that I just ripped there, that is also from Little Bindy Zine. And I think when Rachel did it, she opened up, or maybe she cut her envelopes opened so that she could put a image where the pocket is. But I'm going to start with this one, decorating the outside first. I kind of fumble along on the first one, but the second one was a lot smoother than the first one. And like I said, I don't normally do this type of journaling, I guess, but I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And I'm trying to put my pieces down to where they cover up the edge of that window where it has the rounded corner, so that it will make a square, and that the white part of the envelope, if I was to bring it down, there would still be like a little corner of that envelope showing through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick those down, and then I'm thinking with my hands, okay, I still need a piece here and here. And I have this paper here, and it's just a fabric piece of paper that I had scanned, a piece of vintage fabric, and I wanted to use that as a floral to like peek through the window. So I'm curious if any of you guys do these challenges. If you do, please leave a comment and let me know. I'm just wondering. And if you enjoy them, if you have fun with them. Do you do challenges on a regular basis? Do you stick with the challenges? I think it's fun. I think I might try to do them during the summer and possibly stick to the rules. I kind of go rogue whenever I do challenges and switch it up, which is also fun. I know that Gail Augustinelli, she does Roxy Creations, Rachel's challenges too. I like watching her also. So there's my little floral, and I'm liking how this is looking. And then I'm going back to this kit here that Rachel has. It's a really fun little kit. And so I knew when I was going to do these envelopes that I wasn't going to stick with just one style, that I was probably going to mix and match and mesh them together. Like I said, this is from a French kit, and obviously those other pieces I have are not French, but it doesn't bother me to mix and match. I like it. So I was thinking that I would just put that piece there and wrap it all the way around, but then I didn't want to cover up that little flower part right there. So I tore it down some, and I actually ended up covering it up later on anyways, so I could have just left it alone, but yeah, it's fun to break out your ruler and tear stuff up and stick it down. It's kind of a de-stressor almost. It was very enjoyable. And I like that piece because I feel like the floral in it goes with the floral from Little Bindy's kit. The same color scheme going on. And then this is my little bowl of scraps here that I pulled out so I could start using my scraps, but I kind of feel like they're growing, so I don't know how that's happening because I'm using them, but they are growing. So as you can see, it is kind of coming together. And then on the back side of the envelope, she just stuck some stuff down that you could like journal on. And I pretty much do the same thing for 2 of them, I believe. I did 3 altogether, and it took me a lot longer than 45 minutes. But I do have to stop and go when I'm journaling because I have kids, and you know how it is. I don't really, especially with being so slow, I don't get a project. I can't sit down and just complete a project. I have to start it and then go take care of things in the house and then go back to the project when I have more time. So I'm liking how this is looking, and I'm going to go ahead and just trim off that little scrap there that's poking out, because it still gives me enough room to use that flap to fold over a page. And then this is the other part of that zine from Little Bindy, and I'm going to use some of this to on the back of the envelope, to put on the back of the envelope for my part to journal on. And I really like how that looks. So does anybody have anything special that they're doing this summer? I'm curious. I know we got a few plans made. I'm hoping to be able to go to the beach soon because I miss it. We didn't go, I don't think we went at all last year, and we usually go a few times a year, so, but there was Corona and all that. So for that little space down at the bottom, I am just throwing a little bit of washi on there. And then I had some stickers pulled out, so I went ahead and threw a sticker on there too. And then that's just a page, a patched page that I had done. and I just grabbed it to see how it would work for when I put it on a page in my journal. But there was a little space between on the envelope that needed to be covered because it was showing, which it really isn't that big a deal, but I was already in the zone, so I said I'll go ahead and just throw some washi on here. And that's just some Tim Holtz washi. So now if a little piece of it pokes through, it will be covered. And I go ahead and I do measure my envelope because most of my journals are at least 8 inches tall. So I went ahead and cut it down to 8 inches, I believe, or a little less than 8. So that was the first one. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this wider one here for the second one. And then this is another page from Little Bindy's Zines that I had printed out. And it's really pretty. Really, really pretty. I love the floral on there. And I'm just going to make that my focal point for the window. Which I do realize that once you put something in the envelope, it will be covered once I use it in my journal. But when you take it out, you'll be able to see that pretty floral piece there. Oh, there. Looks good. I like it. So for this one, I decide to go ahead and use my scraps, and I'm just kind of picking out pieces and placing them down to see where I like them and if I like them. Instead of just picking a piece and gluing it down, I'm kind of picking my pieces out first and then I'll glue them all down. And I like that pink because I feel like that little pink paper brings out the floral. And then I had this antique receipt here, but it was damaged, so I had it in my scrap pile. And I thought I'll go ahead and use this because it's really pretty and that floral is really pretty, and I think that they'll go together good. And then that piece there kind of reminds me of like a wallpaper, even though it's a scrap of scrapbooking paper, but it still kind of has that wallpapery print to it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and tear this down so that it will fit on that top part. So you can see this one has a different vibe than the first one did. I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. And I really like how this looks. I stick it over top of the flap of the envelope as well, so it will be folded. So I wish I was able to do these videos without having to speed them up, but like I said, I'm really slow. But I am hoping to perhaps one day get there. I think it would be it'd be fun, because it almost kind of feels like, you know, you're crafting with other people even though you're just talking to the camera. And then this is just another scrap of scrapbooking paper, but I really like the floral on it, and I like the feel of it. It kind of has like a very almost like a little country, shabby country feel to it, but I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that on and wrap it around as well. so that it just kind of breaks up that little piece of wallpaper there. And I kept switching glues. I switch glues a lot between my glue sticks. Like if I needed a small head of glue, then I just used my smaller one, and then the larger one obviously for the larger pieces. Or if I couldn't find my small one, which that happens all the time too. I'm always losing stuff. So I felt like this piece needed just a little bit of lace, and I'm just gonna stick it right there in the corner. And I almost ended up putting a piece of embroidery on there as well, but I changed my mind because I didn't want it to add too much bulk. And then that is just from that antique receipt that I torn earlier. That's the little scrap from there. And I'm just going to use it to cover up that white space on that envelope flap. So it's pretty quiet around the house today. My daughter, my in-laws came and grabbed my youngest daughter and took her to the movies. It's the first time that she's been to the movies in over a year. I think they're going to see Spirit 2. And she's staying the night with her Mama and Papa, so that's nice. And my son is at his friend's house. I guess it's his friend's little sister's birthday, and they got a slip and slide, and you know, they're doing the fun summer stuff now that school's out. So I grabbed that tea-dyed paper, and I thought I was going to put it there for my writing space on the back, but I changed my mind and grabbed an avocado dyed paper, just to kind of stick with the light pink theme going on. And I didn't move it all the way over. I wanted to add a little something extra on there just so it wasn't, you know, a piece of pink paper. Just to give it a little bit more interest and decorate that page just a little bit more. So if you've never done one of these envelopes before, I would say give it a try. Because like I said, I don't think I've really decorated them. I know that I have painted them, but I don't think I've ever sat down and really decorated them. And I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that other scrap from that antique receipt that I had. So I pretty much used all the pieces of it when I made this envelope, which is good. And then I still have one more little space there of white. And I'm just going to throw some washi on there. And then this one, I did not glue it down or stitch it down. I kind of left it open because I kind of felt like I may end up using it as, you know, like that, as a flap that pops open. And then there I am, just going to stick it on the page and see how it works. And it worked fine. So there's 1 and 2. And they're very different. And then for the last one, it does not have a flap. So I figured I would go ahead and use this as a tip-in for one of my journaling spreads. And I've got this little children's illustration of a little girl and her dog, which I thought was really cute. And I didn't want to glue it down on the inside page there, so I decided to glue it around the opening so that it would always be seen, because I felt like I would use this, maybe stick some journaling in or something like that, but I wanted that little image of her and her dog to, you know, to be a focus and to not get covered up if I was to put something in the envelope. So I'm using another piece from, or the other half of that sign that I had cut up earlier for the first envelope. And I'm just going to go ahead and basically decorate the back side of this as well, because I knew that I was going to use this as a tip-in. And so it pretty much covers up that whole back side except for this one little strip here. So I just grab a little scrap of ledger and I make that work. So I'm excited about being able to use these in my personal journal, because I actually do have a couple of photos of my daughter and her dog together that I thought would go good with this. So here I'm just gonna dig through my scraps and try to figure out what would go with the image. And if you can hear my dogs barking, I'm sorry. They're a little bit rowdy. So I like that piece there. It's got little tiny florals on it. And I felt like it went really well with the little girl, because they're kind of little dainty florals. And then I decided to go ahead and stitch all the way around that little window there. And then go ahead and stitch the sides closed as well. And I think that's it. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I hope that y'all have a blessed day, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.